What's up guys, Venom RB here. So today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the brand new Vehicle Simulator update. Before we get into this is my alt. This is why I have like no stats. Okay, leaderboard's broken, lovely. And why I look like this. On my main account I have 15,000 miles in this game. Used to play it all the time. And so I want this game to do really well, and that's why I'm hoping that in the future these updates will get better. We're just going to talk about this update for now, and then I'll give my opinion on if it's good or not for Vehicle Sim and stuff like that. So let's get right into the video. Alrighty, so let's talk about one of the biggest issues with Vehicle Simulator anyways. There are many, of course, but let's just talk about the models. Like, I mean, the old models in this game are great, right? Well, by great, like, they were good for 2017 standards, like, when this game came out. Like, for example, this Sonda. I have to test drive every car on this alt. Nice. It's, like, not a bad model. It's not great. Interior, you know, there's nothing going on really in there. But it's not a bad model by any means, right? I am stuck in my car seat. That's cool. So, like, you know, the models are okay, but then you go and you look at, for example, let's just take the Lamborghini, because it's just the funniest of the lot, the Murcielago. But there's other bad models, too. There's plenty of other bad ones. We have this car, which is trying to be a Murcielago, and, well, you know. Another issue is, slightly buggy, as you can see there, of course, just mildly. That might have been a Thanos truck. It still happens all the time, even without it. But, yeah, so sounds, car models, and bugs. Kind of issues with Vehicle Simulator. So let's just check out this update and see if they fix this. I have checked this update out a bit on my main, hence why I'm on an alt, so I can, like, test drive the new cars and, like, show you them and my opinions while I'm doing it. So let's just start off with the issues I have with the update. And then we'll go into positive. Let's just get the negative out of the way. Who was under the influence when they decided to make an Ariel Atom $20 million? Okay, that's my first problem. So this car in real life, okay, so an Ariel Atom, the brand new 2020 Ariel Atom, it's got a price tag of $74,750, or at least that's what this one does. I'm sure prices vary depending on, you know, what you do, but I know for a fact there's absolutely no chance any of them cost $20 million, and I also know none of them go 450 miles an hour. So, like, right off the bat, when I saw that, I was extremely disappointed by the fact that they're, like, kind of adding cars, in my opinion, to, like, make it so people have to almost, like, grind for them or something. I don't know, keep players interested. I have no idea. Let's now look at the BA Shimano. This car costs $14 million, which is, a lot. In real life, this car is going to cost around $200,000. So for one, ironically, this is the more expensive one of the two in real life, and it's the less expensive one in this game, but both are millions of dollars, and that's absurd. $14 million in a Goist in this game is, I believe, still $12 million. We can just go ahead and double check that right now, because alt life. Yeah, $12 million bucks for an Agoista. You want a Tesla Roadster? That's going to set you back $12 million bucks. You know what I mean? You want a yacht? I have that on my main account for some reason. $28 million bucks. So we can just go over that. So basically, that's insane that the new most expensive car, besides the Demon, I believe, whatever the Demon, yeah, okay, it's the same price. So the fact that this car is the same price as a Devil 16, which is another extremely dumb car in my opinion, is quite unfortunate. Now, it really is annoying to see that. It really annoyed me when I first saw that. But those are really my only massive complaints with the updates. We'll go over more in a bit regarding like other things, but for now let's just move on to some positives, because this can't be all negative. At least the models are okay, right? Like this model, like, yeah, the engine's under detailed, which is unfortunate in a car that you can see the engine. I would have liked to see a bit more detail, but I get it. You gotta, you know, have not tons of lag, because we all know this game just runs great anyways. And the models don't look like they're from China. Same can be said for the other brand new vehicle, which is the BA Shimano right here. I have to test these because, yeah. You know, it's not bad, right? The model, like, yeah, it's underwhelming. It's not very detailed. At least it looks like the car to some extent. Now, In my opinion, they need to up their model game. It's 2022, okay? It's not 2017, 2018. You go to any game like Driving Empire, for example, Midnight Racing Tokyo, games like that, the models are all pretty good. Midnight Racing lacks, you know, interior stuff, but it's got a load of mods and body kits, so that's why I would consider that good. Like Driving Empire is a good example of a game that has a big map, a lot of players in the servers and stuff, and they still managed to make detailed cars work. So, in my opinion, the models, while yes, it's a big step up from China Car right over here, they still need to be more detailed, and that's just my opinion. Alright, so let's cover some more bad things. Sound. For some reason, this car and then the mono share the same sound, which is a bit odd because they don't have the same engines in real life. So I'm not sure what entirely is going on with that. And then on top of that, the sounds just don't sound good, which is another problem. So obviously a lot of games, I hate to point out Driving Empire again, but I figured we gotta use it as an example because if it's, you know, one of the top Roblox games, that's what every Roblox game, that's what sets the bar. It has much better sounds, right? Again, this isn't 2018, 2017 era. No one's impressed by just normal sounds. So that's the other issue with that, is the sounds, honestly, complete garbage. On both the new cars, the fact that they just recycled the sounds is extremely disappointing. And, yeah, there's no other way to put it. It's just a disappointment. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about the Racetrack, which has undergone several changes over years of Vehicle Simulator existing. At one point, it was out in the cornfield area. It used to be originally where this one is currently, and that was the best track, even better than this one, in my opinion. But this is probably the second best variant they've added, and definitely a massive improvement, so let's go ahead and check it out. Now, it's not very big, and a complaint I have is it's extremely wide to the point of just annoyingness. Like, it's just way too big. And then the Vehicle Simulator chassis just understeers so much that it doesn't even make it fun to drive on. The pits are cool, nice feature, the grandstands are good. The details overall pretty good. It honestly reminds me of Ultimate Driving Victory road tracks with the banked corners, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but it's not a bad thing either. I'm not a big fan of the banked corners, but I mean, it's not the worst thing. So ultimately, it's better than the original track, sure. Or not original track, but the last two tracks, definitely. But I would have rather just seen them re-add the original track. Obviously, they cannot, because that place is gone at this point. It's been changed way too much to ever fit back in. Now, there's been some changes to like the mountain roads and like a tunnel added, which cool, I guess. I don't think anybody really cares about that. Nothing game breaking. Racetrack's already, you know, enough. The next thing they've done, which is good in my opinion, I have to get out my drag car, even though I hate this thing with a passion. The fact that this is added in the game, I almost dislike this as much as the Atom being 20 million. Is they have fixed race, or not fixed, but changed how you teleport to a race. So I'm not sure how much of this is even new or anything. Apparently it's smoother and less buggy, so that's cool. I'm all for bug fixes. They also made chassis on some cars more playable, so for example, you know, the Demon actually doesn't just spin out all the time. So again, that's cool. We also have some new modifications, which is quite nice. We have more camber, so that's cool. You can now go to like, you know, -25 and then 25 on the other side. It won't let me go to it, but you can do that. You also have a brand new suspension height, so you now have the ability to go to Ground Rider, which just slams your vehicle, and then you have a new nitro, not nitro type, geez, I have 26 rocket fuels. This is how you know you played the game too much. But nitro color, you now have rainbow boost, which is 500,000, which to me is pretty stupid, but I mean, you know what, if you want to do that, then more power to you, I guess. And finally, for the last things that have come with this update that aren't seeables, they've optimized a few places. They've anchored some loose parts, which is always good. They have done some bug fixes, and then also they've started to add an anti-cheat, which is much needed, because in most games you would just see somebody auto-farming around the map, which, you know, that just sucks. So, you know, that's something anyways that they've added that. So, ultimately for the update, my opinion on the update is, while it's not exactly good, it's a start. Now, I'll go over that in a bit more detail right now. Alrighty, so with the update coming out, there are some good things. Let's just go over everything good before we go over everything bad, in my opinion. Good things, we finally have car models that, while aren't very detailed, are at least accurate to the real life vehicle. So that's pretty cool. And then we have better racetrack, and then we have an anti-exploit system. Now let's go to the bad in this update. It seems that they're still focusing on extremely unrealistic car performance. Like, both these cars should have been 100k and 250 is what I would have expected them to be added to in this game. That's what I would have expected the price to be, and I would have expected them to not necessarily even be entirely accurate with their speeds, but not be 450 miles an hour and 400 miles an hour. In real life, neither of those cars are even capable of 200, probably 150 tops range. I'm not entirely sure. So to stretch to 450 and 400 is a bit insane. So that was really unfortunate to see that they've added that. Next is, while the new models are in fact accurate, they're still poor by these days standards. As I was saying, Driving Empire, which in my opinion is the top Roblox game if you want car model detail and stuff, while not being showcase level of just, you know, not really much content or anything. You look at that game, got functioning doors, you know, opening hoods on some cars, interiors, working speedometers, stuff like that, and that's all becoming more and more common to see. So if Vehicle Sim doesn't at least do some things like a more detailed interior and exterior, it's just gonna fall behind. Bug fixes, while there are bug fixes that have come with this update, and that's a very good thing, this game is still beyond buggy. Like, it's so insanely buggy, it's not even funny. It's just unfortunate at this point, so definitely they need more of those. Another issue with this game is it's just kind of laggy. Like right now I'm getting 40 frames, which, you know, that's not bad, but on games like Driving Empire where I can get 100 frames no problem recording, max graphics, and everything is more detailed, that's a problem. Next issue with the game that I would like to see fixed would be something like the map. I know the map revamp came out, but the map revamp just, it kind of made the map worse in my opinion. So ultimately, in my opinion, the game is going in a better direction, but for it to become a popular game again, a lot needs to change. I would almost say it would literally be better to just scrap this game and start fresh, because everything is so outdated, so buggy, it just feels eh. In my opinion, it honestly would have been better if SimBuilder had not touched this game since like 2018, maybe 2019. Around when the Hot Wheels event was when the Hot Wheels event was around, that was the last time this game was actually like a good game in my opinion, and something worth playing. At this point, it feels too old and outdated. Nothing really works properly. The models are pretty bad. So, is there hope for this game? Absolutely. Do I necessarily think it's going to go anywhere, especially with SimBuilder's history? No. Honestly, I think Vehicle Sim's going to remain dead for the rest of time, which is sad because I really liked this game, especially several years ago. And this video has been negative overall, but I definitely would love to see Vehicle Simulator come back as one of the top Roblox games. Like I said, I played it so much. I played it a ton as a little kid. So I would definitely love to see this game make a comeback as like one of the top Roblox games. I just don't find that likely. But anyways, if there's a dev watching this video or something like that, I really hope it works out. Hopefully you can turn this game around. I just have a hard time having much faith. But thank you all for watching this video. I will see you all in the next one. Venom out.